Hello, hello, hello. Hey up. Hope you're all doing all right. So, a little bit later in the day for me today than what I've been doing these videos usually. As you can see, weather's a little bit bad today. So, we've actually had a day off, so to speak, in terms of working. So, we're actually coming up to now just coming into the second week, the end of the second week of us working abroad, me and my wife, here in Forteventura. So I thought I might as well do this video, just having a bit of a recap of the last week and how things have gone. So still got another 2 weeks left to go, 2 weeks and a couple of days before we go home, back on the 3rd of Feb. So yeah, this week's been pretty decent, to be fair, business-wise. I'm not going to dress things up and say that I've been anywhere near as productive this week as what I was the first week, because I certainly haven't. Felt a lot more distracted this week than I did the first week. So definitely coming into the third week as of next week, well, as of tomorrow really, because we're in for another couple of days of bad weather. So we kind of had today off. With the idea of working over the next couple of days while weather's a bit bad. So we actually hired a car today, which was quite good. And we took a little trip down to a place called Morro Harbley. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not. Morro Jabal, I've been calling it. That was really, really nice, to be fair. 20 minutes down the road. So we took ourselves off down there this morning, parked the car up and had a little mish about around there, which were quite nice, and a good way to kind of end the week. So business-wise, week number 2, actually been a fantastic start to the year for me and my business, and lots of inquiries coming through, getting people onto sales calls, which has been fantastic, and I've actually signed up 3 new clients in the last week, which has been absolutely better than I could have imagined for the start of January. When I set out my goals for 2026, I've obviously got this big goal of wanting to do the first time doing £100,000 turnover, and I kind of split that out over 10 months and expecting January to be a little bit quiet, but coming to this year absolutely flying, to be fair, and already done a substantial amount of turnover this year already, all invoiced, all paid up, contracts signed, and things getting moving with those projects. So brilliant start to the year, and it's given me a lot of confidence now going into the rest of this year that I can definitely smash this target of the 100k and take Northern Source, my web design business, to much better place than what I have done over the last 3 or 4 years since I've been running it. Feeling positive, feeling really, really good. Cannot complain at all. Definitely cannot complain with the way the year started in terms of being here, not being at home where it's -2 and snowing. And even when the weather's not too great over here, it's still sort of 15, 18 degrees or whatnot today. And still got sunglasses on. Still sat here in my shorts and my t-shirt, so there's absolutely no complaints whatsoever. But yeah, the only downside this week, I think, from just a little bit of a look back is, like I say, just been obviously coming to the first week, wanting to make sure I was hitting as much of a rhythm as possible and sticking to a routine as possible. This week, like I say, has been a little bit not quite as productive, but I'm sure I'll pick it up next week. I'm going to have to pick it up next week because, like I say, I've got clients waiting now for work to be done and need to get that out of the door and get their projects done in a timely manner. So looking forward to next week. I've got my plan set out for next week in terms of what I'm going to do, and just need to obviously stick to that and make sure that I'm actually sticking to the hours that I've kind of put down in my schedule. It's not always been the easiest thing for me to do, hasn't that? I've got to be honest. Sticking to a schedule is one of those things when I think it's just definitely a mindset thing. When I very first started the business, one of the main things that I obviously wanted was freedom and autonomy over what I was doing. And sometimes I've maybe taken a little bit of, taken the piss a little bit in terms of that side of things by, you know, well, I've got all this work to do, I'll just knock it on to tomorrow. And then sometimes tomorrow you don't feel like doing it. So for me, next week and the week after while I'm here, really need to knuckle down and get out of that mindset and get into the fact of, even if you don't feel like doing something, you've still got to do it, which it can be a little bit difficult. I've got a lot of design work on at the moment, and if you're a creative, sometimes you'll know that that creative side of the brain isn't always working on overdrive like you want it to be. Sometimes you can sit there in front of your computer to design something and there's just nothing there, which has been kind of what's happened this week. Then I start to beat myself up a bit about it because I feel like I'm letting myself down. I feel like I'm letting clients down. So I just need to get out of that and just crack on and get it done. So hoping, like I say, bit of downtime today. Not really got any work planned in for today, other than coming down here to record this video, which I don't class as work. I do enjoy doing these videos. I enjoy doing the editing as well, and I enjoy coming up with the ideas for the YouTube stuff. Although all these last videos really have just been, I've literally just come up with an idea as I've been walking down the beach and just hit record and got started. So yeah, the content side of things for me isn't necessarily, it's not part of work. It's I enjoy doing these things, and yeah, so that's where I'm at this week. Next week, not getting any calls booked in as of yet for next week, so I need to kind of knuckle down over the next couple of days, even though it's the weekend, and try and get some calls booked in for next week. Obviously, I want to carry on with this momentum that I've built up over the last week or so in terms of getting new business in. No time whatsoever to be taking foot off of the gas in terms of the marketing of the business. Constantly putting the content out on LinkedIn and constantly getting in the DMs and speaking to new connections and all that side of things. Just need to start obviously converting some more of those onto calls, because once I get people onto calls, generally speaking, because of the way that I've set my package up, it's fairly easy to sell, and I'm probably doing about a 60 or 70% conversion rate now from when I'm getting people onto a call, basically to them signing up, which is, again, fantastic. So for me, the lifeblood of my business is going to be the marketing, which it always has to be anyway, and just making sure that I'm never dropping the ball on that side of things. But yeah, that's my week 2 recap. Like I say, cannot complain at all. Certainly cannot complain about the environment I'm in right now, and loving life. And yeah, well, I think we'll definitely be doing this again. We're already looking at doing April potentially in Cyprus, which is our favourite place. So yeah, if we can get away for a month and work in Cyprus, that'd be absolutely beautiful. So yeah, if you haven't done already, subscribe to the channel. Links at newsletters below. Sign up to that if you feel like you want to. And I'll see you on the next video.